Hi ladies, I decided to record a video this month just because I know that some of you are unable to attend class, and I thought I would go ahead and record a video so that you would be able to complete this card kit at your convenience. And also, I was thinking that sometimes we don't want 16 cards, and we know these kits make 16 cards. Sometimes I only want one of each. And so today I'm going to show you how to cut the kit so that you only have to make one of each design, and then you'll have some paper left over for your crafty stash. So let's get started. First of all, let me show you what's in the kit. This is the Stars and Sparklers card making kit, and it comes with the stamps and the thin cuts. It comes with 2 sheets of pattern paper, which of course is double-sided and has the zip strip, 2 sheets of the Carolina cardstock, and you know our cardstock has a light side and a dark side, and it comes with 3 sheets of white daisy cardstock. It has for our embellishment, we have the silver glitter stars. It comes with 16 card bases and envelopes, and the instruction sheet. So now, you're familiar with the instruction sheet. You know, on the front, it shows you the designs, it shows you all of the additional materials that you'll need to complete this kit, and it gives you the cutting guide, shows you what the stamped images are, which images have dies because it's outlined in blue, and it gives you the cutting guide. So, just as a quick review, on this cutting guide, it always tells you that the first thing you're going to do is trim all your zip strips and set them aside. And then you know that the gray area is the areas that you're going to cut. These are your project pieces. The white areas are leftover papers or cardstock. And as you cut your pieces, you want to label them and sort them according to projects. So we always have 4 projects, and what I do is put little strips, and I save these from one month to the next, Post-it notes, and they're numbered 1, 2, 3, and 4. And as I cut the pieces, I lay the pieces for that particular project on the number. So for card number 1, I'll lay the pieces on my Post-it note labeled number 1. All right, so now on your cutting guide, the first cut is always indicated by a pair of scissors, the scissor icon. We know that the asterisk means that it's the back of the paper. The cutting line is indicated by a series of dashed lines. So for instance here, this is your first cut, and then you see the dashed lines. That means you're gonna cut this all the way down, but the gray area are pieces that you're gonna use. The white area is scraps or leftover paper. The little dots here indicate a fold line, and the blue area is, you'll see that when you're cutting your thin cuts, and it shows you how to arrange them on the paper so that you get the most use out of your paper. So let's look at this first one. First one is our pattern paper sheet, and it shows you that the front of this is the stripe side, the back is the side with the stars and balloons, and the back is indicated by an asterisk. Now when you look at your cutting guide, you'll see that there are pieces for 2 cards on this sheet, for card 3 and card 2. We only want one of these because we're only going to make one of card 3. We're only going to make one of card 2. So all we need to cut from this sheet is this 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch piece, and this 1 by 5 1/2 inch piece. That's it. That's all we're cutting from this. Now, when you are looking at this guide, the measurements are width by length. So 4¼ is how wide that piece is, 5½ is how long it is. Very important to cut it that way, especially when you have a sheet of paper that has a directional pattern like this. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut the zip strip. And I pulled out an oldie but goodie paper trimmer. Yeah, that's okay. All right, so now, first cut is 4¼ inches wide by 5½ inches long. So I'm gonna line my cardstock up at the 4¼ inch mark, which is right here. And I'm cutting down. If you're using a guillotine trimmer, you're not gonna be able to do this, but it's okay. I'm gonna cut down to 5½. So I have a guide right here on my ruler that lets me know I'm down to the 5½ inch mark. And I just thought about, there are not going to be any edits or retakes, because once I cut this paper, it's cut, and I can't not uncut it and do a retake. So you're going to get bloopers and everything. All right, so now, if I line this up with the 5½ inch mark, which it should be right here, because that's 5¾ and that's 6, it should line up with where my cut ended right there. And I hope you can even see this. Okay, right here. Okay, so this is card number 3, so I'm going to lay this over here on my number 3 post-it note. All right, I need a piece. Again, let me orient my paper the way the diagram says. I need a piece that is 1 inch by 5½. So I am going to line this edge up with 1 inch, which is right here. By 5½, and I'm going to bring this down again to the 5½ inch mark. And I'm going to bring this over again to the 5½ inch mark right here. And there's, there's probably an easier way to do this, but that's the way my brain works. So this is for card 2. So I'm going to lay this over here on card 2. Now, for the second sheet, we're flipping it over this side. You see, because this is now the front and this is the back with the stars, okay? With the asterisk. And just as a note, notice we have a piece right here that's gonna be cut on the back side, which is, okay, so this first cut is gonna be 3½ inches wide by 4¼ So I am going to bring this over to 3½ which is right here. And I'm gonna cut down to 4¼ 4½. I'm sorry, 4½. Which is about right there. Can you even see that? Let me move over a little bit. And then I'm going to bring this over to the 4½ inch markings on my trimmer and cut up to that first cut, and there we go. And this is for card number 1. Okay, Now we have a piece here that is 1 1/4 by 4 1/4. So I'm going to turn this around again. 1 1/4 is right here. And I'm going to cut that down to 4 1/4. And then I'm going to bring this piece over to 4 1/4. And I'm going to cut that up right there. And this is for card number 4. All right, now we've got a piece here that is cut on the back because it's got the little asterisk right here. 1/2 by 4 1/4. So this little strip right here. Now here is the 1/2 inch mark on my trimmer. So I'm going to line that up with the 1/2 inch mark. Cut this down to 4 1/4. Line this up with 4 1/4, which is right here, and then cut that up. All right, that's it for the pattern paper. All right, next thing we want to cut is the Carolina. And now for the Carolina, now notice we didn't cut into that second sheet at all. For the Carolina, we got the light side, we got the dark side. And this is telling us that the light side is the right side, the light side is the front side, the dark side is the back side. So we're gonna cut this piece for card number 1. It is 4 by 5 1/4. So we're gonna line this up at 4. Cut this down to 5 1/4, which is right here. And then I'm gonna line this up with 5 1/4, which is right here on my trimmer, and I had that marked. And I'm going to cut up from the bottom to this piece. And this is for card number 1. Okay. Card number, see there are 4 of those. We only wanted 1. Card number 3. 3 3/4 by 5. Okay. So now I'm going back to this direction. So I'm trying to, and actually, it really doesn't matter. I can go from the bottom. 3 3/4. So I'm going over 3 3/4, which is right here. And I'm just gonna cut that whole piece off. Open that up a little bit. By 5. And so there's 5 on my trimmer. Okay, so now here's a tip for you. Notice that 5, really you can't tell because of the way this is curved, but you got a guide right here. And this guide right here shows you where a 3 by 5 piece would be. Here's a 3, so we know this is 3 down, this is 5 across. So I'm just gonna line it up right there on that 5 inch line, right there, 3 by 5, voila. All right, so that's card number 3. Guess what? That's it for Carolina. Okay. All right, next we have White Daisy. And for White Daisy, we have a piece that is 4 by 3. So So we're gonna cut at the 4-inch, lined up at 4-inch line, 4-inch mark. Cut down. You know what, I'm just gonna cut this whole strip, okay? So that's 4, and I need a 3-inch, so I'm gonna line it up with 3, 4 by 3. This is for card number 1. Then I need a piece that is 3.5. So I'm going back to this direction, which is my 4-inch piece here. I need 3.5. So here's my 3.5. By 4 3/4. And this is 4 1/4, 1/2, 4 3/4. Right there. And this is for card number 3. Okay. Now, what I normally do, if I don't if I'm only cutting for one of each design, and you see all of this right here, right? What I normally do at this point is just go to the card itself. And I look at the card and I see what pieces. So for this card number 1, I need 2 balloons, I need 2 bows, I need a cinnamon strip. Here's a balloon. And I now have washi tape stuck to. Here's my sentiment strip. And here's a bow. I need 1 more bow. All right, so all of these are for card number 1. So I'm gonna take all these pieces and put them in my pile for the pieces for card number 1. Card number 2, we need 3 balloons. We need 2 balloon strings, and we need 1 sentiment strip. A sentiment strip, my balloon, and my 3 balloons, my 2 balloon strings, and my sentiment strip, and that's for card number 2. Card number 3, I need 4 balloons and 4 tassels. My 4 balloons and my 4 tassels. That's for card number 3. And for card number 4, I need 1 balloon, 1 balloon string, and 2 tassels. All right, so that's it for this part. I'll come back and show you how to assemble the cards.